Welcome back to Bills, Bets, and Beers. I'm the host, Chad. This is a channel where I mostly talk about Bills football, the NFL in general, walk through some parlays that I put in for the week, mostly same-game parlays for Monday, Sunday, and Thursday night football, along with some couple Sunday game parlays as well. And occasionally, I will do a tasting and rating of a tasty brew, usually a local IPA from the area, and it's gonna be probably like once or so a week, if once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, depending on what I can get a hold of. So let's get into the video. As you can tell by the title, it says the Sunday night football and Sunday football parlays. I put one in for Sunday night football, another one in for the Sunday game pick parlays, and also a Sunday player prop parlay. I like to separate it between the two, so I just have a good options here, because I don't want to like mess up a player prop one just because I picked who's going to win the game. Sometimes player props are easier, sometimes they're not. So before you get into that, I'm going to go through some NFL updates. Jonathan Taylor is going to be out for the game against the Pats. So if you're looking at that one, that betting line looks pretty nice now. Because without Jonathan Taylor, all they're going to have is Moss back there now, Zach Moss, because we got Hines, so it's going to be interesting. James Conner, ribs, he's going to be a game time decision against a game time decision. So that's going to be interesting for them. Ravens, both Gus Edwards and Mark Andrews are out for the game. So, I mean, they have the Monday night game slot, so it depends on however they get practice in today or not on Saturday. But if they still don't practice today, then they could be out for the game, and that's going to be massive for them. Unfortunately, they're going to need those people to be in that game, I think anyways, to win. New Orleans isn't any slouch. Next, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are both out against the Falcons. That just puts more favor in the Falcons at that point. I've already had them to win before I knew that, so I mean that just doubles it up for me. And Van Jefferson, the wide receiver, is coming back into the lineup for the Rams offense. He was injured and now he's coming back. Okay, so let's get into those videos. I mean, let's get into those parlays. So I'm gonna start off with my Sunday game pick 6-leg parlay I did. I chose Seattle +2 against the Cards. I think Seattle's they've been running pretty well lately. Geno Smith's been going off the rails, and I don't know. I just think they're gonna win it, especially if they're getting +2. I think they can win at money line. I just chose the spread because the difference between odds was not that great for money line and without it. Next one up I took was Titans at Kansas City. I chose the over on that, so it's over 46. I think it's gonna be like a 54-ish game at the minimum, so I should be fine. I think that's a safe bet. Next up, I have the Vikings -3 at Washington. The Vikings have been playing well. They got T.J. Hawkinson, I think, is going to get involved this game. And for Washington, J.D. McKissick is out for the game. And it's just, things aren't looking good. I like Washington with what Heineke's doing. I just think Vikings are that much better of a team. Then we have the Rams at +3 at the Bucks. I think with the Rams getting points, it's an easy pick because the Bucks they have not been playing that well. Both teams haven't been playing well. But with Van Jefferson coming in, giving them more weapons, I just think they're going to be better off. I think they're going to, even if they lose by a point or two, I think that +3 will help, but I think Rams are going to get it money line. Like I said, it's just the difference between money line and +3 wasn't that much for me. Not to risk it anyways. My next one up on this parlay is Packers -3.5 at the Lions. So Packers, same thing. They have not been playing well. 4 losses in a row. But But with how I think just the Packers are just gonna come back. They're not gonna lose 5. They're gonna come back and cover the spread against these Lions. I think Aaron Jones should go off pretty well. I mean, hopefully the wide receiver is back. Not Vance Catley. I can't even think of his name right now. I'm blanking on it. But the starting wide receiver, Lazard. Hopefully Lazard comes back in. And he was limited, I think, in practice this week, and it's pretty much game time decision for him, I think. So if he comes back and plays, that'd be great. I have him in fantasy, so it might help me out there as well. But who knows? I think that'll help out the team as well a lot. But I think they found how they're going to play the games by just running more at this point. Next up I have is the Dolphins, -4.5 at the Bears. Bears have been playing decent defense, but last game they did not show up. They showed up a game before that. Dolphins offense is super good right now. They're clicking in all cylinders, so I just don't see the Bears beating them or covering the 4.5 points they're getting. So I think Dolphins probably win by maybe a touchdown, 6 points or something like that. But there should be no chance for the Bears to come back. But hey, that's what he said against the Patriots too. So who knows? I could be wrong again. Total odds on that was plus 45.43. That gets me $2 equals $93. So those all seem pretty good to hit. And the reason why I didn't touch some of the other games is a lot of them really close. Like, I wouldn't have touched that KC game if I didn't go with the over, because yeah, they're giving Titans plus 12.5. That could go either way. I mean, look at the Eagles game. That's why I didn't want to touch that spread, because it was plus 14, plus 13.5. So it's like, do you really want to touch that game? And then guess what? They only won by 12. So I mean, I'm not going to bother with those. Next up, I have Sunday player prop 6-leg parlay. I chose Tyler Boyd for an anytime touchdown. I'm just going with. I picked between the two, Boyd and Higgins. I know they're going to score points this game, and I think without Chase, Boyd's going to get the targets, because I think Higgins is going to get more pressure on him, and they're probably going to Boyd's going to be more open for those touchdowns. Next up is Mariota over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I just think the Falcons are going to win that game, and it was good odds for over the 1.5 for Mariota, so I took it. Definitely worth it. And I think he's going to get those passes. I think he's going to get the passes, get those touchdowns. Probably only get 2, but that's all I need to win. And obviously, one I lose. So I think they're going to get the 2 touchdowns against them. Come up big, and I don't know. Like I was saying before, with the Chargers out Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, that's their offense, but the defense has not been stopping people as well lately. So, because they've had a lot of injuries in there, a lot of cornerbacks coming down, starting quarterbacks. J.C. Jackson, I think he's out for the season. I mean, people they traded for that make the team better, may be a Super Bowl team, have been out. Next up, I have Travis Etienne over 76.5 rushing yards. I think he's going to get that. He's been getting around 100 plus each game the past 2 or 3. So I think that's common sense. I would say this: I wish I had Etienne on my fantasy football team, because he's been a monster. So I'm taking him at that 76.5 rushing yards. It seems like an easy pick for me, but games can go every way. I would not have touched that Jags game though. That line was too close, and who knows what they're going to do. Next up, I have Aaron Jones over 65.5 rushing yards. Like I said, I think Packers are going to be running it more often, and Aaron Jones is going to get a 65.5. He got way over that against the Bills, and the team he's going up against now, the Lions, their defense has sucked. So Aaron Jones is definitely getting the rushing yards. He's probably going to get towards 100. My fifth one up on says T.J. Hawkinson over 34.5 receiving yards. This is a little rich for me, but I took it anyways. The odds were a little high, for this one, so that's why I took it. Usually on these under-overs on player props, you'll only see, like, it's all the same, like minus 110. This was like a plus on this one, so I had to take it. It was like plus 130 or plus 230 something. So I definitely took this one. Also, I think Hawkinson's going to get involved this game. They're not going up a bad team, the Vikings. Washington, their defense has been struggling. So I think if they do try to force pressure on Jefferson, and try to keep like blanket him and try to like have a safety maybe follow like the other wide receiver. I don't know. I see him getting the yards. He's probably not going to get much more. Probably like 40, 45, if that. But it's going to be around that point. And they make these lines for a reason. These people usually barely go over the lines, and then sometimes they blow them out the water. So I think he's going to get that. And then I also have Mike Gesicki over 2.5 receptions. The last 4 games, this seems like a gimme because I looked at the record. Like, he's had like at least 3 to 4 receptions. Sometimes they had 2 weeks of 6 the last 4 weeks. He's getting his targets. He's going to get targets today again. On Sunday again. So, I'm not worried about that one. That seems just like a gimme. Total odds on this one was plus 87.71. So, I put $2 on it for $177. That Boyd anytime touchdown really helped me out with that one. And also the Hawkinson over 34.5 receiving yards definitely boosted it for me. So it should be a good parlay, I think. The only thing that, like I said, is going to be kind of hot-handed was that T.J. Hawkinson over those yards. I think the Boyd touchdown kit will happen, but you never know with that. But I'm more worried about the Hawkinson, but I think it's just a smart play at that point, just to kind of boost your odds just enough. Next up, I have my Sunday Night Football 6-leg parlay. It's Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown. Kind of obvious. I think he's going to get into the end zone. They don't have much other weapons over there, especially with I think Tannehill might come back. They said it's going to be game time decision, but I just don't see it happening. So with their current quarterback, I think Henry's going to get in the end zone. Then I also have Clyde Edwards-Helaire for a touchdown. I don't know. I just like running backs hitting these touchdowns, and I think Kansas City's going to get probably a nice catch getting towards the goal line, or like get a penalty, be on the 1-yard line. And instead of doing a nice flip pass and getting the ball in harm's way, which he's been doing lately, it's been beneficial mostly, but he's had bad things, like bad like interceptions and stuff from that in the past. I just see him choosing to run the ball at that point instead of risking anything like at that part of the game, especially if it's like a first down in the goal line. I don't think they're going to be doing anything crazy. Next, these are a little weird, but I choose them because like through DraftKings they do a lot of these weird little lines. I chose Chiefs over 30.5 points. I think it's gonna that better happen, but it should happen because I messed my other parlay up with the over, but I think they're gonna get that many points. I chose Titans over 17.5 points. That might come to bite me, but these teams generally play each other close, and they're high-scoring games majority of the times. So I'm not really too worried about that. Probably might be a 2 or 3 touchdown day for Henry, if that goes if they get those points. Malik Willis can definitely throw the ball, but he might even run one in himself. So I think they have enough time to score those points. Mostly probably in the field goal portion, but at least a touchdown or 2 offensively, and then a couple field goals, and they'll have that score easily. Then I took Henry over 105 rushing yards. This was like one of those alternate rushing yard ones for him. Like if I would have chose over 115, I think the odds boost would have been like plus 200 or something, plus 250 or something like that. I chose this one because it seems reasonable. The Bills ran all over them, and enough over them, and you can't think Henry's going to do that. I think he's going to get his yards. But then again, they can stack the box, but I don't know. I think he's going to get him no matter what. Then I have Mahomes over 39.5 passing yards. I think it's sorry about that. I think it's pretty obvious that Mahomes is going to get his passing yards. He's been blowing up as of late, and that Tennessee defense isn't really going to stop him. That's why I say it's going to be high scoring on both sides. So he's going to get his yards. That puts the odds at a total of plus 4,000. I put $2 on it, and it turns to $82. Pretty good. Plus 41. So I mean, you can't complain when $1 can turn into $41. So that's why I put 2 down, make it a little bit more interesting. So if I do it, it'd be nice. Last portion of this video, one of the last portions, I'm gonna go through some Bills updates as well. I don't want to put them into front and kind of like dilute what's going on. I only did the NFL updates, so it explains these picks and what I think is gonna happen pretty much. For the Bills, Poyer is not playing Sunday, so that's a big out for the Bills. But with the 2 DNPs in practice on Wednesday, Thursday, if he didn't get a limited practice Friday, he was not going to get in, and he did not. He did not participate Friday as well, so he's out for the week. Next up, I have is Edmonds and Mitch Morse. They were both full practice today, which is great, because Mitch Morse, we need him, and Edmonds, we need him as well. They're both key players on their side of the ball, and I do not want to see another Miami game where we have someone who's not a normal center snapping balls, because the snaps were not coming out. Not all these snaps were coming out perfect, which made it like the one bad snap made it impossible for us to just get into to set up for that field goal at the end of the half against Miami, and was not a fan of that. So that could have been the difference in that game, and we could be also 7-0 going into this week, which would be nice. Also, Spencer Brown and Matt Milano were both limited participation in practice Friday. Good signs. They were not. They were good. I think Spencer Brown's in limited practice all week, pretty much. But Matt Milano did not participate the past 2 days, so this is a good sign. I think Milano's going to play, and we're definitely going to need him back there. If we don't have him, like I said, this game might get interesting, because without a Milano and Poyer, it changes our defense enough where, like, who knows who they're going to put back there. Are they going to put Dean Marlowe, the safety we just picked up, to put in Poyer's place? Is that why they got him? Or are they sticking with Jaquan Johnson back there because he's been with the system most recently longer, and he knows it a little bit better at this point, I would think, because they've had to have made some tweaks to it since Dean Marlowe's been in. So, who knows? Also, I have some preview. I'm going to do a preview for the videos coming up. I'm going to be having my Monday Night Football parlay. I'm going to be dropping that probably tomorrow sometime, as well as Bills vs. Jets post-game reaction. I'll probably put that on I'll probably drop that Monday. I'll probably just record it probably Sunday and drop it Monday afternoon or Monday morning, something like that. So it's fresh. Because I know the last time I dropped it on Tuesday because I was doing the Monday Night Football game one. So it's kind of like everything kind of intertwines a little bit. Then the normal Thursday Night Football parlay, and as well as Bills vs. Vikings preview, prediction, and same game parlay. I'm just grouping them all together in one video. Only brings up to usually 20 minutes. So and I'll be probably dropping that like again on a Friday, so we know like all the limited, like all the practice information for both teams, injury updates, everything. So that helps with putting a good prediction in and keeping it more accurate in what I'm going to be saying. But yeah, that's going to be it. I have some sponsors I have to tell about. My wife, Crochet with Alicia. You can find her on Instagram. It's just like I said, crochet with Elisha. She does very good stuff. She makes hats. She makes gloves. She does like little beanies and stuff like that. She's done a beanie with a beard on it for me for the Bills. She does koozies. She does blankets, anything for kids, adults. She's made a lot of kids gloves, a lot of kids hats, like sets. She's done dragon scale gloves. She just does pretty much anything you think of. Her own cardigans. She makes tons of cardigans. So if you're looking for a nice breathable cardigan for like the fall or like spring, definitely hit her up. Worth it, and she always brings the best quality yarn into it. So it's very soft and nice feeling instead of very rough and just makes you itch, you know. So hit her up on Instagram, send her a DM. She'll get back to you pretty quickly, and just tell you a price. And even if you don't see anything on there, you can just drop her an idea of what you want or a picture of what you want, and she can find a pattern for it. And she's bought patterns for a lot of things before, so she'll just probably put it into the cost of it. Probably be an extra couple bucks, because patterns go from like $1 to $5 usually. Sometimes a little more expensive, but not usually more than $5. Then I also have my buddy Evan over at Mr. Nasty Time. That's his channel. It's Mr. _ it's Mr. _ Nasty TYYYME. He does a lot of NFL content as well. He does a power rankings every Wednesday, Thursday, and that's all 32 teams, so it's definitely a good watch. He does a couple minutes per team, even the lower ranking ones, explaining why they're down there and why some teams with a lower winning rate is higher than some other teams. You know, it's just what you think they're going to end up at and how they're playing at the moment as well. Then I have hopefully a future sponsor, New Belgium Voodoo Ranger. I mean, if I can get them, that'd be great. But if you have a chance, check out their beers. You'll see them. They have the nice skeleton designs on them, doing some crazy stuff. They have the Hop Ranger that looks kind of like Indiana Jones, it's a skeleton. That's really good. They also have Juice Force. It looks like kind of like Top Gun in a sense, just like a pilot who's a skeleton and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I like it. That Juice Force hits really hard. It's 9.5%, and you can get like a tall can for like $2.30 or $2.50. So, and it's really juicy and hazy. So, if you're looking for a nice strong IPA that doesn't taste like a strong IPA, definitely hit that up. But that's gonna be it for today. And go Bills, and peace.